Hey brew tubers, welcome to yet another Homebrew Wednesday. I do have a bunch of updates for you this week. I did get most of 95% of the stuff I ordered with my Hanukkah money in, so I'll give you a quick few updates for this half of the video, and then the second half of the video, the ending of the video, will be me showing off all that stuff that I got over the past few days. So I am drinking right now another beer from my artisanal import sponsor, and if you want to see some of the reviews I've been posting, please check out my blog. I'm doing them a little slower than I'd like to, just because I've been drinking so much American craft beer like Bourbon County Stout, but I am trying to get to them, so I'm slowly posting them. So the next one will be for Triple Carmelier, or Triple Carmeliet, however you want to pronounce it, but it's one of my favorite triples. And it is a bottle conditioned beer, so I'll show you a picture here. When I poured it a huge head, and then but it dissipated pretty quickly because it's a bottle conditioned beer. But just to do a quick review before I write down tasting notes and type up a full review and post it with my pour clip and stuff like that. What it has going for it is that what I like out of a Belgian beer, like triples, quads, saisons, I like them to be on the spicier side. I really don't like the Belgian beers that are too sweet. Whether it's sweet up front and then has a dry finish, or like triples and saisons, which typically have a little bit of a spice to them, or a more pronounced spice, rather than the dark fruits of the quad up front with the spice in the back. A lot of times with triples you get a nice spice mixed into the overall flavor profile. So this one has some nice lemon, some like phenols that give you that clove spiciness, and just an overall, it's brewed with, I believe, wheat and barley and one other grain. It says beer 3 grains, so it says it's blonde, robust, smooth and fruity 3-grain ale with final fermentation in the bottle. Brewed with pride and patience after Carmelite tradition with wheat, oats, and barley. Okay, wheat, oats, and barley. So it's a 100% natural ale. So it has just a really nice, you could smell that it's brewed with a nice complex malt profile. It has spiciness that I like, the lemon that I like. So let's dig into it. Really smooth on the palate, nice and light. Has a slickness that from the oats, but it's still pretty light bodied, and it's just a really good, well drinking, refreshing triple. I like triples more in the spring and summer, but this is a really nice year-round triple, and if you could find it, it is pretty widely available from artisanal imports. If you get it, I definitely recommend it. So that's just a little bit of my preferences for Belgian beers, and one of my favorites here. My other favorite triple is the Westmalle triple, by the way. So if you can try this one or the Westmalle, those are two of my, you'll get what I mean by the spicy yet sweet, yet complex and refreshing for the Belgian strong, pale ale, or triple styles. So I have been working with Beersmith to finalize my recipe for my triple, for my English Barleywine. And I got the oak chips in, so I'll grab the camera over here and try to show you the recipe. So as you see here, that's about the color of the beer. So it's gonna be like a amber color. It says SRM should be 16.6, so it's around the amber color, not too dark. So we have 15 pounds of Maris Otter, 1.5 pounds of Crystal 80, because I really want it to not only give color but some nice flavor, caramelly flavor. Some Victory Malt, 1.25 pounds of Victory Malt for some breadiness, 1.25 pounds of Vienna Malt, just to round out that caramelly flavor and again give a little more color. And maybe a little more mouthfeel. Then at 60 minutes, I'm going to be adding 3/4 ounce of Chinook. I'm using it's basically like a British English barley wine malt profile and yeast with American hops. So and then at 20 minutes I'll add an ounce and a half of Centennial, and at 10 minutes an ounce and a half of U.S. Goldings, and half an ounce of Chinook, because I like the flavor and aroma of Chinook, so I want to give it a little bit of the flavor of the beer. And then with the steep and whirlpool, that flame out another half ounce of Centennial, just to give a little bit of citrus in the aroma, and just bring out a little more of the fruitiness of the beer, with that blending with the malt profile. And then with my other packet, the same yeast I use for my breakfast stout, the British L2, which I'll make a 2-liter starter with, and I'll show you my new stir plate soon. The yeast nutrient and the 4 ounces of oak chips, 2 ounces will be French oak and 2 ounces will be American oak. So it should be, this is just a preview because I haven't put in any of my numbers, obviously, because I haven't brewed yet, which I'll either brew this Sunday or someday next week. So it should be about 59.5 IBUs, which the range for English Barleywine on Beersmith goes up to 70 IBUs. So I wanted to keep it balanced, but not too bitter. So around 59 or 60 IBUs should be perfectly fine. And it's projected to be 10.4% ABV, which is pretty much where I want it. I don't want to be as high as like a Sukaba from Firestone Walker, but it'll go up a little bit with the bourbon in it, because I'm probably going to add some like fresh bourbon along with the oak chips, so it'll maybe up the ABV a tiny bit, but I won't really be able to tell that with the hydrometer, but we'll see. But that's my plan for the English barley wine right now. So one important thing I should note with the English barley wine is that a lot of people, what they do with it is that they once they bottle it, they age it for a while. Like, I'm sure some of you know who have brewed high gravity beers before. You have to kind of age them in the bottle for quite a while before they really taste like they're supposed to. So like I brewed a year or two ago, an Imperial Porter that I put oak chips in, bourbon soaked oak chips. I might have added a little bit of the soaking bourbon, which was a bad idea because you get too much oak flavor in the first few bottle, and it took a really long time for that bourbony oaky flavor to die down. But I won't be doing that with this beer. But again, the bourbon flavors after will be really strong right away, so it'll take some time, at least a month in the bottle, before it's ready. So what I'll probably do is sit there and sip on the gravity sample out of the secondary once I bottle it, and then I'll say, okay, this is where the bourbon flavor is now, and then I'll see how many weeks past the 2 weeks of carbonating that I want to wait. I think I'll probably wait a month really before I crack open my first bottle. So, and I'm also thinking maybe with a few of the bottles, trying to get my hands on some wax to wax dip some of the tops, so that the bottles that I'll be aging for a year or so to see how it ages will won't oxidize as much. It'll really just be the beer itself, maturing in the bottle, for lack of a better word. So that's my update for now. That's a better view of the English barley wine I've been talking about for the past few weeks. And here's the footage of all the new stuff I got with my Hanukkah money. Alright guys, so as I told you, one of the things that I ordered was a stir plate, which I really need for my English barley wine to make yeast starters. So I got what's called the Brew Smarter with Stir Starter, which basically, if you look at it, looks like one you would make at home. And since I didn't really want it, so I found it at a good price. It was $45 US, and not including the flask, but it did come with a stir bar, and in this envelope there's a magnet to put on the bottom when you pour in your yeast starter. So since it came with the stir bar and and that magnet, like, I thought it was a good price, and I got it from a website called Adventures in Homebrewing. I think the website itself is actually called homebrewing.org, but it comes with this whole stuff about why do you make a yeast starter and how big of a yeast starter to make. So as you see here, I put this foam stopper that I got off Northern Brewer in there. I got 2 of them, because instead of putting tin foil or saran wrap or plastic wrap, whatever you want to call it, on it, this will give it a nice breathable barrier. You like sanitize the foam stopper beforehand, and then you turn on your stir plate. So it has the dial here on front, so I'll show you it working, and you could slowly speed it up until you see the vortex forming in the middle. As you can see, it's spinning pretty rapidly already, and now it's starting to vortex in the middle, as you see. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty wild vortex, so I might have to slow it down a little bit. But it's pretty good, pretty well working stir plate, so I'm really excited to use it. And yeah, so we can shut it off now. But anyway, so that's the test of the stir plate. But this is the stuff here in this box that I got from northernbrewer.com, as you see. So I got the French oak chips, which are medium toast, which are clearly a lot darker than the American oak. The one thing I think, they both say there's 4 ounces in here, but there's a little less in this box, but the chips are a little bit bigger, so they both are 4 ounces. Here's the other rubber stopper. I got 2 of these number 10 bungs, because I'm going to have a friend help me drill into them so I could fit the plastic elbow things, which I got in there, which are right here. These plastic elbows, I had to order a pack of 5. These are 5/8, so I have 5/8 inch tubing, and for high ABV beers it's good to have a bigger blow off. So I also ordered 1/2 inch ones for secondary, so once I get those, I'll also drill into the other bung I got. Then I ordered just another universal bung for better bottles, and then I also ordered a spare stir bar just in case I ever need it. So that's all I ordered from Northern Brewer and homebrewing.org. So now let's go over and check what I did to my brew pot. Alright guys, so I didn't do anything to the front of my brew pot, but I told you I wanted to get a dip tube. So you see here, what I did was I put a hex nut with 2 male ends, and then I ordered a 90-degree stainless steel elbow. Both pieces are stainless steel, and I'm angling it down so it doesn't go so far into the middle of the pot, but yet it gets in there enough to pick up. It'll serve as a pretty good dip tube. I could, if I want to, take off the coupling, which is that cylindrical piece in the beginning, and just use the 90-degree elbow, but we'll see what I decide to do for brew day. But for now, I might want to actually test out this configuration and see what happens, because it doesn't go, it should be still up to whirlpool, and that shouldn't be too far into the middle of the pot. So maybe I'll do some tests and see what happens, but for now I think I might use that configuration. If you guys can give me your thoughts on that, that'd be great. But so that's basically all the stuff I got so far, but with the addition of my fridge and now having a dip tube and a stir plate, that should be pretty good for now. Alright, cheers. So I hope you enjoyed the footage of that new stuff. Actually, I know I cheered you out before, but I need to give you one more update. I just want to hope you guys enjoyed the Brewed Palette and the Kitchen episode 1 of my beer barbecue sauce. If you haven't seen it, I'll post a link below. And the next episode will be coming soon of my beer chili, which came out pretty good. So I hope you'll enjoy that video as well. It'll be pretty much in the same format, just obviously with a different recipe. So if you guys have any tips on me to improve the videos, I'm definitely open to those. So again, happy Homebrew Wednesday, and enjoy the fruits of your labor and brew awesome beer.